What's your name?
My name is Catalina Schwartz.
I'm Hussein. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And tonight's question is, what's your worst date experience?
My worst dating experience was going to the restaurant down on State, and I ended up paying about $150 for the meal.
Wait, really?
Yeah, first date ever.
Well, what happened? He didn't pay?
No, we didn't pay, and then he dipped, and I went home.
He dipped?
Yep.
I can't tell you how disgusted I am.
Why? What do you...
I honestly didn't get a fucking answer out of him, so that's pretty much what happened.
That's weird. Yeah. Did you hear about him next?
I mean, he texted me, but then I ghosted him, so that's kind of how it rolls.
Yeah. How can someone reject a beautiful girl like you,
You know, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I tried Googling it, got no answer, so.
Still no answer.
Exactly.
I'll try finding one.
All right, perfect.
I'll let you know.
All right, cool.
What's your name, man?
Walker.
I'm Hussein. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
And tonight's question is, what's your worst date experience?
My date got arrested.
FBI, open up!
No way.
Yeah, wait. So,
What happened?
so here's the thing. I meet this girl at a bar,
Yeah.
and we were going to go out to our first date at this one restaurant in Madison. So I told her, great.
Yeah.
And she lives really close to this one bar, and we're like, cool.
Yeah.
I'll meet you there. So I drive my car, and as I'm driving, I see like 3 police cars on the right-hand side. I'm like, okay, kind of odd, but didn't think nothing of it. I pull in, I park, I get out, and I go see her. We're sitting down, we order our food, and 5 minutes later, not joking, 5 minutes later, 5 officers show up, then 20 more officers show up, coming to our table, and she gets
No way.
arrested.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
And I get almost arrested, and then my friend comes through the door and he says he goes free. And every officer looks at who was saying it, and it was the state patrol officer that was my friend, and he said he goes free. And they're just like, why? He's like, he doesn't know anything what's going on. He's on a date. She could go to jail because I know what she's doing.
First of all, what's your name?
Tira,
I'm Hussein. Nice to meet you.
you too.
And tonight's question is, what's your worst date experience?
My worst date experience is probably an experience where this man committed to a time, maybe 9 at night, and kept pushing it off later and later and later, and like came over drunk from a party, which is fine, but why didn't he just tell me he was gonna meet me after the party originally?
Okay.
So it's just like disrespectful to my time.
Yeah, like he just made you wait. And
Yeah, like my time is important.
He could have at least just cancel or something.
I could have been doing other shit. I could have gotten drunk with my friends and met you after.
Yeah.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Okay.
She was carrying cocaine, marijuana. She was a big drug dealer.
Did she have like any warrants?
2 warrants.
So that's why they were after her?
Yep.
Okay.
And no, they knew that this was her place to
Oh, okay.
sell drugs and everything else. So they thought I was one of the drug dealers buying the stuff. And I'm like,
But you were clueless at that.
I was clueless. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm on a date. Like, fuck, man, I don't know nothing. What's going on? So yeah, she went to jail, and I was stuck with the bill. But my friend's like, listen, I'm off duty. Let me pay the bill, and we'll like have a good night with each other. I'm like, cool.
What's your name?
Alexis.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And tonight's question is, what's your worst date experience?
So on the first date, went to a nice little restaurant, also known as the bowling alley. During that time, he asked if I wanted a threesome. What? Which was super amazing, you know, that's just the best thing you want to be asked on the first date.
Was he drunk?
No,
All right.
sadly no. And then he proceeded to say I love you on the first date after the threesome thing, which is a little awkward. But yeah, that's it.
How did you react to that? What did he tell him?
I did a little, like, not, I'm also an awkward person, so I literally was like, oh. I was like, that's so nice. I'm gonna not talk to you, you know,
Alright.
like that kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Yep.
Did that make you a bit skeptical and the other, like next times?
Yes. I'm more cautious with like, I always ask the women, do you have any warrants?
That I should know?
No, because I don't feel like going to jail.
Just let me know beforehand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, like, listen, be careful. If you don't know the girl, do a background check. Call one of your friends who works for this police department and say, hey, listen, I'm a little iffy about this girl. Can you do a background check? You know, make sure she's doesn't have any standing warrants out for arrest, you know. That's the best I
That's
got.
the epic story, the best I've heard.
Right, I told you. And I was also on the radio show also about this because it was during Valentine's Day and they said to anybody, like the day before, they said, call in if you ever had the worst date. I called in. Because I'm like, come on. How worse can your date get when your date gets arrested?
What's your name?
Nevin.
Daisy.
Nice to meet you. And,
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
and tonight's question is, what's your worst date experience?
Worst date experience?
Yes.
Of all time.
Yes, sir.
All time.
One time I went on a date with a girl. It was at the gym, and she like brought her camera. She brought her camera, and I didn't know. I don't TikTok. I don't have anything. So I was like, oh my God, why'd you bring your camera? Like, oh, we're gonna film like ourselves lifting. Like,
Yeah.
I can show my friends. And she was like, no, I'm gonna like show the world.
Really?
And she had like 200K like followers. It wasn't the worst, but it was like the most bizarre.
That's here in UW?
Yeah.
So like in the campus gym, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
How did you react to that though? Like,
Fantastically. I was like so excited. I was like so excited. And then we friends. She friend zoned me, and then I was like, oh my God.
No, never. Don't put that.
No, put that on there. She friend zoned me, and then I was like, oh my God. Let's work out again. So we worked out again, and then that's been the history. What's your first date? Worst first date?
Fuck off.
what's your name, man?
Jake.
Nice to meet you.
You're welcome.
And tonight's question is, what's your worst date experience?
When you take a girl out on a first date and you say, you know, take her to a nice restaurant and then you go, you know, get whatever you want. You know, expecting them to keep it on the cheap side, and then they get a nice appetizer and then they get a nice entree and dessert. Oh, and then you can't forget the drinks and then the take-home appetizer as well. So, yeah, that was an expensive bill to say the least. That's for sure. Yeah.
Trying to get like free stuff, you know?
You know, I'm just like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Go, let's go, right? So, but yeah, worst date.
Okay. I'm from New Jersey.
Okay.
I was in New Jersey for the time. He goes, let's go out for ice cream. Like, sure, whatever. Okay. But me being a fucking sketchy ass bitch, I don't trust no one. I got my best friend following me in her BMW right behind us.
No way.
And I go, okay, let's get ice cream. He goes, okay, we get ice cream, whatever. He's like, oh, you want to go for a drive? I'm like, sure, we go for a drive.
And she was still following?
She's still following. He goes, I think the cops are trying to follow us. I'm like, fuck no, we're fine. He takes me in bumblefuck in the middle of the woods. I go,
In New
bitch,
Jersey, though.
in New Jersey.
In New Jersey.
Morristown, New Jersey. Morristown, New Jersey. He takes me in the middle of the woods. I'm like, bro, what you doing here? He's like, oh, I just want to see the view. We go there, pitch black, nothing. I'm like, what the fuck are you
creepy.
doing?
I thought it was beautiful.
My best friend spamming me. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Who the fuck is this guy? I'm like,
What are your names?
Haley.
Adam.
Nice to meet you. And tonight's question is, what's your worst date experience?
I had to cancel on a date because I had to chaperone my little brother's birthday party, and he yelled at me for hanging out with other guys.
Oh, really?
They were like 7 years younger than me.
And you?
Yeah, I was supposed to go to a movie with a date, Charlie's Angels, and the date flaked on me, so that was a pretty bad date experience for me.
and he's like, just come on, like, let's go to the back. Like, it's my mom's car. It's my mom's car.
That's the oldest trick.
And I was like, bitch, the fuck? And he was like, just let's go in the back. My friend comes up in the middle of the woods and goes, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, in the middle of the woods, 25 miles into the woods. He takes me into the woods like I'm gonna get fucking murdered, like fucking Ted Bundy. Shit. And I go, and I'm like, gotta go, sorry, someone was following us. I guess I gotta go. So anyway.
You should have left before even going to the woods.
Well, I was in his car, in the passenger seat. I was like, where are we going? He's like, I don't know, but I have Life 360, obviously. I'm not a fucking stupid bitch. There I go. He's like, oh, and then he texts me, he's like, oh, you didn't want to fuck? I'm like, not in the middle of the woods. In the back of your mom's car, no.
That sounds like a heavenly time.
Hey, man.
My name JoJo.
Nice to meet you. And tonight's question is, what's your worst date experience?
My worst date experience, I was having a good time, you hear me? Tonight. Oh my God, that's my good date experience, but check it out. I was having a good time tonight.
Yes.
I met a lovely lady, she was nice, she got a good job, she got 2 good jobs,
Yes.
she is good, family like all that. I'm thinking it's just me and her, bro. I'm thinking we finding love and ecstasy, bro. You hear me? Let me look at the camera, man. I'm thinking we finding this love, you hear me? I'm thinking we finding all the good stuff, you hear me?
How is this the worst, though?
It's the worst because I thought it was my soulmate.
Yeah.
Come here.
Hey, what you doing, a little stretch?
Yeah, I thought it was my soulmate. I thought it was just her though, you hear me?
Oh, man.
And it just fucked me up that it wasn't just her though.
It was.
It was her too though. Man, both of them though.
I'm lost now.
So it's like the good and the bad experience, you hear me?
The best experience,
It's the best thing.
But it's
so-
supposed to be the worst, y'all.
But I'm confused on what you wanted.
No.
You hear me?